in leadership like that is not going to stay in a Christian church like ours, but I don't know if he's...
Joel Osteen was born on March 5th, 1963 in Houston, Texas, into a family deeply rooted in faith. He was one of 6 children in a household where belief in God and big dreams were the foundation of daily life. His father, John Osteen, had once been a traditional Southern Baptist pastor, but in 1959, 4 years before Joel's birth, he left that tradition to start what would eventually become Lakewood Church. Joel's mother, Dodie, stood firmly beside John through the highs and lows, shaping a home that was both spiritual and resilient. Growing up, Joel witnessed firsthand the role of faith in navigating life's challenges. When his sister Lisa was born with severe disabilities, the family leaned heavily into faith and healing, experiences that shaped Lakewood Church's core mission. Joel's siblings also pursued meaningful paths. Lisa eventually became an associate pastor at Lakewood, while his brother Paul became a vascular surgeon and missionary. From an early age, Joel was surrounded by examples of dedication, service, and the power of belief. Lakewood Church, humble beginnings. Lakewood Church began in May 1959 on Mother's Day, when John and Dodie opened the doors of a small church in a former feed store in northeast Houston. The original building seated just 234 people. Initially named Lakewood Baptist Church, the church soon dropped the Baptist label, emphasizing miracles, healing, and hope. By the end of the 1970s, the congregation had grown to over 5,000 members, becoming a movement in its own right. Joel, however, was not initially drawn to preaching. Quiet and reserved, he excelled at observation rather than performance. After graduating from Humble High School in 1981, he briefly attended Oral Roberts University in Oklahoma to study radio and television communications, but left after less than a year. Instead, he returned to Houston to focus on a path that would shape the future of Lakewood: media. Behind the camera, Joel's early influence. At just 19, Joel launched Lakewood's TV ministry, a pioneering effort at a time when few churches understood the potential of television. He began with one local station and gradually expanded to national cable. For 17 years, Joel worked behind the camera, overseeing filming, editing, and production details to ensure every broadcast reflected professionalism and impact. While he wasn't preaching, he absorbed lessons on communication, leadership, and connecting with audiences, lessons that would become invaluable when he eventually stepped into the pulpit. At home, Joel's faith was reinforced daily. In 1981, his mother Dodie was diagnosed with terminal cancer, a moment that tested the family's resilience. Her survival became a testament to the power of hope and prayer, core messages that Joel would later weave into his ministry. Stepping into the spotlight. Joel never planned to preach, often telling his father, "Who can preach better than you?" Yet in January 1999, he finally delivered his first sermon, sharing personal stories and humor to connect with the congregation. Just 6 days later, John Osteen passed away suddenly, leaving a church of over 6,000 members without a clear successor. Despite having no formal training or experience in preaching, Joel stepped forward. By June 7, 1999, he was officially installed as Lakewood Church's senior pastor. His approach resonated with people, and the church began to grow rapidly. Within 5 years, weekly attendance soared from 6,000 to 25,000 to 30,000 people. Joel invested heavily in television, billboards, and media outreach, blending motivation, positivity, and spirituality. His message was simple: life could improve through hope, faith, and perseverance. The original 8,000-seat sanctuary could no longer accommodate the congregation, prompting plans for a bold expansion. A new kind of message. Joel Osteen's preaching style focuses on positivity, gratitude, and self-worth rather than traditional messages of sin or judgment. His 2004 book, Your Best Life Now, became a cultural phenomenon, selling over 4 million copies and spending nearly 4 years on the New York Times bestseller list. He continued to release books, host speaking tours, and build a personal brand that extended far beyond Houston. Osteen's message resonates with millions, emphasizing hope, personal growth, and the pursuit of a fulfilling life. While some critics argue that his approach prioritizes comfort over deep theological teaching, his ability to inspire and uplift remains undeniable. Victoria Osteen, a partner in ministry. Joel's wife, Victoria, met him in 1985 at a small jewelry store in Houston. A psychology student at the time, she would go on to become an influential figure in Lakewood's ministry. They married in 1987, building a partnership that shaped both the church and their public presence. Victoria launched Lakewood's Women's Ministry in 2003, which has grown to touch thousands each year. She has authored books and hosts a podcast, expanding Lakewood's reach while complementing Joel's message of hope and faith. Passing the torch, the next generation. Joel and Victoria's children, Jonathan and Alexandra, have carried the family's mission into a new generation. Jonathan studied film and began leading worship at Lakewood before graduating from the University of Texas at Austin in 2017. Alexandra became a lead vocalist in Lakewood's worship band, bringing modern music and youth-focused ministries to the congregation. Both children contribute to the church's outreach while maintaining their own creative identities. Growth, influence, and controversy. Lakewood Church now operates with an annual budget approaching $90 million, supporting TV ministries, large events, staff, and operations. Critics sometimes question the balance between outreach and media-driven growth, noting that only a small portion of the budget is allocated to traditional charitable missions. Osteen emphasizes that the church's influence extends beyond monetary contributions, reaching millions through media and inspirational messages. Despite debate, Lakewood's prominence continues to grow. Joel and Victoria Osteen's approach has redefined modern American Christianity in some circles, blending motivation, spirituality, and media-savvy leadership. Their home and personal wealth are reflections of the success of their broader ministries, which fund books, tours, and global outreach programs. Expanding influence, Joel has leveraged mainstream media appearances on platforms like Oprah, Larry King, and Good Morning America to broaden his audience. His speaking tours, known as Night of Hope, attract tens of thousands in arenas across the United States and internationally. These events combine faith-based inspiration with motivational content, emphasizing personal growth, resilience, and hope. Evolving practices and public perception. Over the years, Lakewood has adapted its practices, balancing traditional rituals like baptism and communion with the realities of a large, diverse congregation. While these practices may not always be front and center, they remain important components of the church's teachings. Joel's focus on hope and encouragement continues to define the church's identity even as public scrutiny and expectations evolve. Leadership in a changing world. The world around Lakewood Church has changed significantly over the decade. Natural disasters, public health crises, and societal shifts have tested the church's responsiveness and leadership. Osteen and his team have worked to adapt, supporting communities through outreach programs, media campaigns, and events designed to offer practical and spiritual support. Lessons from a life of faith. Joel Osteen's story is one of transformation, from a quiet observer behind the camera to one of the most recognized pastors in the world. His approach demonstrates the power of faith combined with media savvy, vision, and personal resilience. Lakewood Church's growth reflects not only the effectiveness of its leadership, but also the resonance of its message, hope, perseverance, and the belief that life can improve through faith. A family legacy. The Osteen family continues to shape Lakewood's future. Victoria's ministry, Jonathan and Alexandra's musical contributions, and the ongoing work of the church staff ensure that the mission remains dynamic and relevant. The legacy of John and Dodie Osteen, rooted in service, faith, and hope, is carried forward through generations. A message for millions. Joel Osteen's ministry emphasizes that life is not without challenges, but with hope, faith, and positivity, individuals can navigate adversity and pursue fulfillment. His books, sermons, and media presence have inspired millions around the globe, creating a platform for encouragement, motivation, and spiritual growth. Conclusion. From humble beginnings in a small Houston feed store to the transformation of an iconic arena into a world-class worship center, Joel Osteen's journey is a testament to vision, persistence, and faith. Alongside Victoria and their children, Joel has cultivated a ministry that blends traditional Christian values with modern communication, reaching millions through books, television, music, and live events. While debates about theology and wealth continue, the central message remains clear. Hope, positivity, and faith can inspire individuals to pursue their best life no matter the circumstances.